Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. The hotter it gets, the more mosquitoes you are going to see, especially here in East Tennessee, where everybody's out on the lakes, ponds, creeks, streams, everywhere you turn. Get the most effective solution to skeeters in East Tennessee. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Set up a one-time or regular monthly treatment to get those things out of your yard. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right. Today we're looking at the biggest issues facing Tennessee this fall. I asked the guys to send me their lists. We've got about 4 or 5 that I want to discuss, and then at the end we'll kind of have a potpourri, a catch-all, where you guys can throw out anything we miss. But one of the things that showed up on everybody's list that I thought we'll put this right up in front, and it came up in that first segment, that is fourth quarters. Finding ways to grind out games. To me, in the pros they call it the 4-minute offense. Tennessee has to develop a 4-minute offense for when you've got the lead. How do you grind the thing out? Last year, I think you could draw a big circle around. They didn't trust the passing game in those situations. There were times where you had Josh Dobbs just run into the sideline, into oblivion, rather than let them pass it. Mike, you weren't here for it, but a few months ago, if you want to go back on sportsource.tv, you were watching in Michigan Online. You told me that. You might have seen the show where we actually went back and looked at the small number of times last year when Tennessee actually threw inside their own 40-yard line. They don't do it often. I think that's where it starts. You can run the ball. We know that. Late in games, they're going to stack the box and dare you to throw it. You're going to have to be accurate. Receivers are going to have to come through. Can they do it?
I think they can. They're going to have to develop a trust in Josh Dobbs, though, that obviously, as you said, they didn't have last year. And also, I think you can run the ball and be more creative than what Tennessee was. I thought offensively, when they had those leads, the other teams were mounting their comebacks, and it was obvious Tennessee was getting on shaky ground. I thought Tennessee's offense didn't just get conservative, they got vanilla conservative, and those are kind of two different things.
Well, I think it also starts in their own territory, which actually does start earlier in the game. Can you close it out is the biggest key late, but with the offense, if you don't trust Josh Dobbs in the first quarter to give him the football and make a play for you in your own territory, you're definitely not going to in the fourth.
Good point.
Well, I think Mike DeBoer did a great job, and I know when he was first hired there were a lot of questions about him, but I go back and look at some of those great Michigan teams, and the way that they won games was by not losing games.
Yep.
And that was exactly how Tennessee made some championship game
That's
appearances,
right.
John. So I understand the philosophy. And also, Chuck, you got to look. I mean, we're talking about the most prolific running game of the modern era for Tennessee. You got to go back to 1951 since Tennessee's averaged more yards rushing.
I'm not saying
It's hard to second guess, John. It is.
Well, I know for you. That's very unusual for you to ever second guess.
The one second guessing we did a lot was at Florida, the last possession when you have a lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in that one first down, you put the game away. 2 first downs, definitely put it away.
Yep.
Left tackle into the teeth of the defense. Third down, your play is to have Josh Dobbs run to the right, lose 3 or 4 yards, and just crumble onto the field.
Yeah. Well, I think
Now, that's not getting it cut on what you're calling. I don't care who you trust. You got to do more.
But the defense lost
But
that.
the other thing is, you look at Mike DeBoer. I thought Mike DeBoer did a great job last year. That doesn't mean it's perfect. I don't know anybody. Yeah. Our show isn't perfect. Trust me, I check Twitter. I know what people are saying. But when you look at Mike DeBoer, is there an issue? I would have said the one issue is, especially when you go back and look at the numbers, I don't think they trusted their short passing game in those situations late in games. Will they develop? That may be. They may know more than we do. They may stand over there at practice and watch passes go and say, I don't really want to go there. We got Hurd, we got Kamara. Let's be smart with the football. I understand that, and certainly conservatism. Hell, that's been the backbone of Tennessee football for years and years and years. But at the same time, you have to, if you're wanting to close out games, you better be willing to use your entire playbook, in my view.
Well, how about the players? How about getting outscored 73-72 in the fourth quarter? Can we talk about conditioning? There has been a change made there. Why can't we talk about the players not executing? Again, John, we're talking about, think about all the great running backs and all the great players on the offensive line for Tennessee, and last year averaged more yards rushing per game than any of them. I'm putting this on the players. I'm not putting that one on the coach.
Gentlemen? I've got the straitjackets lined up next. We have to take him away.
Well, I got better than that. I got a dart. We can do to him what they should have done to the girl.
Don't do the
Well,
gorilla
I think
thing.
at some point you got to ask: is your scheme, are your schemes
Harambe.
good enough to get the job done? And a lot of times you can say you don't trust Josh Dobbs. I haven't seen that many receivers running
Well,
wide
exactly.
open too.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's
that's
the whole
why. I mean, let's spread the blame here. I mean, it's not just I think
and
all on Josh Dobbs.
Well, and
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara becomes very key as well because he's going to be a big part of what they do in the passing game, running the football, of course. But he was a big target last year. I think will be this year too.
And a lot of people are waiting to see what Jason Kroom can do. They want to see Wolf, tight end. What can you do there? Are you going to get a little more pass happy with your tight ends at all?
And how many times have we seen Tennessee trying to run the ball against Florida and that didn't work out? It didn't work out against Oklahoma. Where was that great
I'm
running
not saying
game
you
then?
go into BYU, but you better be able to have some faith in
Yeah,
your,
well, I
in your
mean-
total offense. Mike's grinning. We'll come back in the next segment. He doesn't believe in any of that. He thinks it's all good. All right. What is next on this show? We'll let Mike decide. Actually, we're talking about defensive changes, where Tennessee needs to create some depth, create some rotation. We'll discuss. Come on back.